children really loved the sport because from the first few clubs we started with, we were able to introduce to the young children, of which you remember, children really love a sport where they run after each other.
Jambo, Namaste, Namaskar. Welcome in TheKhoTalk. It is our great pleasure that here we have Coach Yutman Symoh Mejah, sir, the Vice President of Kenya Kho-Kho Association with us. He is the person behind the rise of the Kho-Kho in Kenya, as well as he is the coach of many sports. So let's start today's episode and know about the Kho-Kho in Kenya. So, Jambo sir and Habariya Asuboni.
Asante sana. Namaste, namaste, Mr. Prince. I'm very much humbled for having me on this webinar. Thank you so much. All that are tuned on from Asia, from Europe, globally around the world, in Africa. Thank you so much. Yeah, as Mr. Prince just said it, my name is Simon Bogua, alias Coach Yutman Symoh. I'm very much humbled to have myself present on this great and amazing webinar on the Kho-Kho champions, as we are having the TheKhoTalk on a great day like today.
Okay.
Thank you. Presenting myself, I stand as a coach in different sports, and particularly having been a sporting coach in skating, in ice hockey, in floorball, in rollball.
Yes.
I'm super excited today to express myself as a coach in Coco, and as a big ambassador in our country, Kenya, teamed up with another of great men and women that we are working together to make the sport of Coco grow in Kenya, East Africa, and Africa at large, of trying to spread Coco around the world.
Yes, sir. Go anywhere, go everywhere.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
So let's start, sir. And our first question is, sir, what is the history of Kho-Kho in Kenya?
Oh, thank you very much. Well, Coco has gained its history from the bit of having the Indian community that have been having it within their traditional events in the country, and now having gained the recognition from the time we got an opportunity as quite a number of 3 coaches from Kenya to get the training in New Delhi. That was in 2019.
Yes, sir.
And we got the opportunity to have a training which was very effective, and we came back with the skills of introducing Coco to many. Minus it being played by the Indian community in Kenya, we now brought it to other natives who are passionate about sport, and we have gotten to spread it to different counties, as we call them in Kenya. I guess in India you'll call it the states.
Yes, sir. So our second question is, sir, when and how the Kenya Kho-Kho Federation established?
Okay, well, after we got the training in New Delhi, and we embarked back to Kenya, we immediately started up our Kho-Kho Federation by establishing an office, of which we set up an executive body.
Yes, sir.
And minus having the executive body headed by our president, Coach Jacob Nyaudo, we are much excited to drip down an office that is very devoted, from the technical team, from the PR team, from the hospitality team and the welfare team, so that we can be able to spread the sport in the country. We have been able to at least engage with the government and do the necessary requirements of registering ourselves as a federation. And as we speak right now, we are super excited that the sport has been spread to many counties and many are getting to learn more about it.
Yes, sir, that's great. That's great, sir. And your federation is organizing very good events.
Exactly.
So our next question is, sir, what inspired you to become a coach, especially the coach of the Kho-Kho?
Oh, well, looking at my background, I think you heard from my introduction, I happen to be a coach and a player too of different sports.
Yes, sir.
And you will always have that push and passion of what you love best. And having been picked to go and get the opportunity of learning about the new sport in India, I felt it as a very great opportunity, because that tells you out of the many that you live with, there are those that understand your capacity and responsibility when delegated to something. So I am much obliged to our president, which is Jacob Nyaudo, and the international body for giving us the opportunity, and myself that got the opportunity to be in the part of training as a player and now as a coach, officiating the sport and spreading the sport.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, our next question is that how hard it is to introduce and promote Kho-Kho in Kenya, where other sports like football, floorball, handball, volleyball, and athletics, these sports are played at a huge demand and with a very big craze.
Okay, well, I would say the hard bit about spreading Kho-Kho was not about it being introduced amongst other sports, but it was just because of the challenge of having a new sport within the pandemic.
Yes, sir.
And that's never still deterred us, because we still stepped head high to make it happen to many, so that we can be able to spread the sport. Bearing in mind, Kenyans are very passionate about sport. When they saw about the new deal of Coco, many were just swimming to our waters so that they could be able to learn the new sport. And just like I always tell them, many of my players and many of my coaches that I do train, I always tell them, you never go wrong when you tag yourself along to a new sport.
Yes, sir.
So it was never a big challenge, just that we were trying to maneuver through within the pandemic that deterred us from reaching so many, of which now, being that things are opening up, we are now able to spread around to many.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, our next question is, sir, how are the players showing their interest to learn this sport?
Well, the response from the players has been very superb, because they have been taking it on a new high level, whereby you find they are even stepping away from some of the sports they have been doing to come and have a feeling of Coco, and eventually they say, this is the game we belong to. So that tells you the reception of Coco has been very positive, and they are well receiving it. Yes.
Especially that small kids who are just introduced to the game, they are showing their amazing craze and they are learning this sports very fastly. We have watched the video of the various events, sir.
Indeed, indeed. From the back videos, you can recall when we have been introducing the sport. It tells you that children really loved the sport, because from the first few clubs we started with, we were able to introduce to the young children, of which you remember, children really love a sport where they run after each other.
Yes.
They challenge one another. And now, having Coco come on board, it brought the energy bit of the children to always have the confidence to have a sport that they can challenge one another and convict themselves to the bit of competing in the sport.
Okay, sir, that's great, sir, that our future generation, that is our small player, a small young generation, they are showing their great interest towards the game, sir. So, sir, our next question is, sir, what types of competition our federation is organizing to uplift the Kho-Kho in Kenya?
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Prince Raj. The Kho-Kho Federation in Kenya has been very, very devoted to push on the monthly series, of which from the clubs that we have engaging on different monthly series, so that we can be able to motivate the clubs, bring new players on board, bring new clubs, so that we can be able to create the competitive bit and improve more of the learning skills in Coco.
Yes, sir. That's great, sir.
Yeah. So the series have been continuing on different days of the weekend. On Sundays, being that clubs are scattered in different regions, we always converge at a central place, depending on the allocated days by the technical team, so that we can be able to have the Coco Series championships continue.
Yes, sir. Sir, our next question is that how the COVID affected the planning and the work of Federation?
Well, just like I said, Mr. Prince, indeed COVID really was a big hindrance to us because we were not able to move around. It came to a time in our country that we were restricted from movement. So we could not be able to reach to other regions within our country to spread the sport. So we were just contained within our different zones, whereby we would just play within ourselves. But we were very optimistic that within ourselves we can do something, and we still embrace the bit of doing things on the Zoom webinars so that we can keep enlightening.
Online session that keeps our player engaged with the Coco, and they keep the players interacted with each other, and that really support to get establishment of the Coco in Kenya.
Very true. Also through the WhatsApp platforms, we really were engaging a lot, whereby we would share some of the clips. We would have some tutorials so that they can get to learn the skills. They could get on toes to even engage with questions, and we would be able to engage them more and show them what is expected of playing for the next year.
That's awesome, sir. Sir, our next question is that recently there was a visit of our International Coco Federation General Secretary Rohit sir. How it works to lifting the Coco upward, and what types of planning you people do there for the sport?
Oh, well, we count it as a very great blessing and a very great honor to host our International Secretary General in the country. Thank you so much to the international body. Thank you so much for our Secretary General, Mr. Rohit Haldenia. Having stayed for a week in Kenya was nothing but a great impact to the growth of the sport. We happened to interact with so many high-ranking people in the country in regards to sports, in regard to the media houses, and also a very great impact from the Indian community, whereby the High Commission of India came on board to support the sport. And as we are speaking, we are organizing a very mega event that will be played, a Coco event, in collaboration with the High Commission of India, whereby Dr. Paul Vendrada will be part and parcel of the guests, and the Indian community all will be on board as we spread and bring the play of Coco to all in the country.
That's great, sir. Sir, our next question is that how does the government of Kenya supporting Coco?
Okay, thank you very much. Well, what I could say is the government has been very great impact to the growth of the sport. So the first bit of it is to recognize the sport as a sport that can be played by people, played by the children, and from that they now take it to the next level of registering it within the federation, from the registrars department into the sports department. And where it now comes to the next level of even getting a slot within the stadium, whereby we can get a stadium, which is the next step we are looking for from the great meetings we held when we had the Secretary General in the country. And we are very optimistic that it's going to bear fruit in the near future as we have very great openings coming forth.
Yes, sir. So, sir, our next question is, sir, there was an international coaching in 2019 in India that was in New Delhi. So, how it helped to learn Coco sport in the Kenya?
Okay, well, the camp was really a very great opening for the sport to us and for the few of us who got the opportunity to learn it from Kenya, from East Africa, and from Africa at large. And other countries globally, because we really got the first-hand information from our great coaches from New Delhi,
Yes.
our director, Mr. Vidyalaya, and also the leading body from India, to name but a few, Mr. MS Tyagi, Dr. Sidra, Baburia, Coach Kekar, Chauhan. It was an awesome moment because they really poured themselves out. They really gave us the right information according to what was expected to be learned from. And from there, we were able now to multiply from what we got, to come back to our homes, to our countries, and become very innovative to teach those that are for the sport.
And really, they are doing excellent job. They are organizing many seminars. They are organizing international level coaching camp. So our international federation, India federation, and all other country federation, they are really doing very well to uplift the game upward.
Very true. Very true.
Yes, sir. So regarding this, our next question is that what are the future planning of the federation of the Kenya to organize the tournament and to promote the game in Kenya?
Okay, well, our future planning in terms of the sport of Kho-Kho in our country as a federation is to at least host a big event that will bring all the Kho-Kho lovers to Kenya, to enjoy the bit of being in Kenya, to enjoy the flora and the fauna, to enjoy the hospitality of Kenyans, and also to at least get the opportunity of challenging one another on the Kenyan scale as we are out to bring the best of Kho-Kho and to learn from those that have been playing it for very many years. We notice the Indian community haven't played it for very many years. They are really full of very great skills, and we cannot wait to host them here in the country as we aspire to even have the World Cup. This would be the thing.
And we are super excited for that Kho-Kho World Cup.
Exactly. Yes.
So, sir, our next question related to this part is that, as we know that now Kho-Kho is played over 30 to 35 countries over the globe. So, what are your thoughts on the being included into Olympics?
Well, that's very tragic question. That the number of 30 to 35 is the number we're supposed to raise to at least get to 50, so that we get to be able to at least match to the Olympic qualification, whereby we can be able at least to be in the Olympics. And we can say we're on the right trend, we're on the right path, and we are growing bit by bit. And as we are looking forward to even having the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, we are very happy and excited that we can still have our sport being exhibited, at least have the opportunity to make the world know that Kho-Kho is on its doorstep to get into the Olympics and can be played by all around the globe. So the food for that is, here comes Kho-Kho to the World Cup.
Yes, sir. I hope very soon our sports Kho-Kho will be included in the Olympics, and there will be a next level of rivalry between the both teams to win the gold medal for their nation.
Very true. Very true.
Yes, sir. Our next question is, sir, what are your thoughts about the digital, as like our Facebook group Kho-Kho to the World recently that have reached 10K milestone? There are 10K members in that group that is led by you. So what is your opinion that such types of social media platform, how it will help to raise the Kho-Kho, to upward the Kho-Kho at the over the globe?
Well, I think that makes me have a smile on my face, because when we came back to Kenya, we happened to start up the group, and it has been the effort of very many, yourself, others from other regions, to make the sport grow on the social platform. Kho-Kho to the World is a platform we made so that it can spread to all globally. Either from which continent they come from, we say this Kho-Kho to the World, so that all Kho-Kho lovers around the globe, irrespective of the language we speak, we are all meeting on the layout as we play the Kho-Kho, and we are unified by the core that we always echo when we play our sport. So I'm very positive that the growth of the sport on the social platform in Coco will be of a great importance to us as we even eye ourselves to go to the next level of even being in the Olympics.
Yes.
And to also host the Olympics, the World Cup come the date that will be dated for that in Kenya.
Yes, sir. Sir, our next question is that what is the practice routine of the Kho-Kho players of the Kenya? What types of diet planning they are for their fitness, and what types of fitness and coaching they are provided by the federation for their improvement of the game?
Okay, well, what I could say about our players,
yes, sir.
They are very active for championships.
Yes, sir.
They are very active to meet other champions that have been playing Coco, yes, so that they can test themselves, they can monitor the strength that they have, bearing in mind that yes, many have been playing other sports, but having Coco at the forefront now, we are really passionate that the training we have given our players is good enough to give them the first experience of challenging one another with the champions of Coco, call it the Indian community from India, call it the champions from Europe, in UK. We are really waiting and looking forward to have that. We also as a federation have been bringing the best of training them with the skills that are of high note, so that they can be able to understand the different tactics of either chasing or defending.
Yes, sir.
So that by the time they get to a competition, they will get to engage into the real training of what is expected of them as players.
And definitely with their hard work, with their determination, our Kenya Kho-Kho player will definitely perform excellently in the World Cup and the other event that will be organized in the future. They are great, sir. They are athletes.
Thank you. We are much humbled. We really are pushing for that, and we can't wait for the first experience with our players to have an experience to play an international team. Call it from UK, call it from India, call it from any African countries that we started up together, South Africa, Senegal, Mali. We are very, very thirsty for a championship, and we are hoping in the near future that will come to be a dream come true. Having the matches played so that we get to grow our sport and to bring more individuals that are loving the sport on board as we grow together.
Yes, sir. And definitely with our determination, with our positive thought, we will achieve our goal, Kho anywhere, Kho everywhere.
Very true. And we also need to appreciate our international body. They have been working tirelessly. All regards to our international director, Fabrice Aldenia, our technical general, our Indian community, fraternity of Coco. They have been pushing, making meetings day and night. The national federation, that is the Kenya Coco Federation, our president, our secretary general, Madam Mikhail, our technical team, Coach Abunde, our assistant technical general, Coach Brian, our technical Madam Perpetual, our PR department, Madam Carol, Madam Mary from the welfare, and the overall treasurer, Mr. Kanti. Thank you so much for all efforts of merging to make sure that all that we are pushing for, and our coaches, the devotion for our players, it can never go unrecognized, because with all this effort, we could not be the federation that we are. And we are very thankful to the parents for believing in us and giving us the children, so that we can train them, so we can bring them to the new bit of sport and bring them to the new experience of having something new that can make a player, a child, belong to something that they will belong lovingly.
Yes, sir.
I think that
by the hard work and by the work of our all the senior officers, we will be on the top of the all sports.
Thank you. Indeed, that will be the key.
Yes, sir. This sports having that potential. By that potential, it can be the best sport of the world.
Very true, Mr. Singh.
Yes, sir. Recently, by our research, we have come to know that 2.5 crore of the Indian player, they are playing Kho-Kho in the nation. 2.5 crores.
Wow.
That's a really huge. They are really playing the Kho-Kho with their craze.
Oh, no. That would be very good. I think I would also love to have the article shared to Kenya on a translated bit from the Hindi language so that we can share the thread of how Kho-Kho is doing in India. And it will be a milestone to make people in Kenya understand how good Kho-Kho is doing on the other side.
In Kenya also, that will reach to billion very soon, because this Kho-Kho sports having really a great potential.
We are calling it a bushfire that never stops. So definitely we are very positive that it's going to be running out many that have shown the interest to belong to the sport, and we are just a step away from having it in the schools so that it can be played as a curriculum sport, extracurriculum sport in the schools, in the university, in the institute, and that will be a very big milestone for the sport in our country.
Yes, sir, that's great. Yes. And at last, there is a question, and I would like to ask you that how you like the work of Kho-Kho champions, and what is your opinion and view about the Kho-Talk?
Okay, well, what I would say, Kho-Kho champions, headed by you and your team, you are doing a very great job. You are trying to reach all that are devoted to Kho-Kho by ensuring that you keep tabs with them, especially on the platforms, and to make them know what is happening around the globe. I have always been following that we always update everything that is happening, even between the times we had Mr. Rohit around. Every update that we made, you would always make sure people get to know what is happening. And another important thing is the TheKhoTalk is a very golden platform whereby you will find the Coco and DBS are getting to engage with many. I can count you, so many are waiting to have the view of the TheKhoTalk that we're having right now. So I can tell you very many are passionate about learning more about Coco. So these are very great platforms whereby we are reaching so many in the far end of the villages, in the far end of the cities that love the sport and are belonging to a new sport that they are seeing how good it can be to their children and to themselves too.
We are trying our level best for the providing all the updates, providing all the skills regarding video and clips, so that our players will get all the things so that they can play nicely.
Very true, very true, very true. And that will be the key thing as ambassadors. We first give the right information to our players, to our coaches, to our referees, so that by the time they get to the pitch, they are getting there with the right information to give the best to the players. You know, sport is a revolving thing where will come a time we shall be out of the play and others will come. So they will definitely have to follow from what we taught them.
They will learn that how that skill should be played and how they can learn that skill regarding like a skydive, pole dive. They can learn all the things from each other.
Very true, very true. That is it.
Yes, sir. With this, we would like to conclude this TheKhoTalk, this 6th episode. And it's our, again, we would like to thank you, that is Asante in Kenya language.
Asante, sir.
Yes, sir. That you give us the precious time for our Kho-Kho champions to the TheKhoTalk, and it's our really great pleasure to talk with you, and we are very humble to you and our all the Kho-Kho community. Let's Kho anywhere, Kho everywhere.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's definitely Kho anywhere, Kho everywhere.